despite your Zadie Smith and your Duke Lahiri, are not getting the recognition they deserve. If you subtracted racism from this country, you would have a totally different view of the bookstore. Shit, think about how many schools wouldn't look the way they look. You know, I always get my white students complaining about affirmative action. And I'm like, motherfucker, if we made this a full competition, everybody in here would be Asian. Shut the fuck up. Schools have come to realize that the metric of full competition is a moronic one if you're looking to create the kind of diverse student body that is going to be needed for a future. So let me read just a little bit, and we'll take 2 questions at the end, and then that'll be that. Cool? We'll come in on time. You know what? I forgot my book. Can I borrow a book from somebody? Just give me what you got. We'll make it happen. Okay. Cool. Let me just read to you from this novel. And the only thing you need to know is that the piece I'm going to read to you is in second person. So it's the you form. And the you in question, the person that the speaker is speaking about, is a 12-year-old Dominican girl living in Paterson, New Jersey with her fucking crazy-ass mom. Yeah. For those of you who have had crazy-ass moms, and you usually can't judge till you're in your 40s. Nah, it's true, because every kid thinks their parents are crazy. But when you're in your 40s, you begin to realize whether your parents were for real or straight nuts. So, she's for real crazy. So, in a good way. This is the story, Wildwood. It's never the changes we want that change everything. This is how it all starts, with your mother calling you into the bathroom. You will remember what you were doing at that precise moment for the rest of your life. You were reading Watership Down, and the rabbits were making their dash for the boat, and you did not want to stop reading. But then your mother called again, louder, her I am not fucking around voice, and you mumbled irritably, Si, senora. Your mother was standing in front of the medicine cabinet mirror, naked from the waist up, her bra slung around her like a torn sail, the scar on her back as vast and inconsolable as a sea. You want to return to your book to pretend that you had not heard her, but it is too late. Her eyes meet yours, the same big smoky eyes that you will have in the future. Ben acá, your mother commands. She is frowning at something on one of her breasts. For the record, your mother's breasts are immensities, one of the wonders of the world. The only ones that you see that are bigger are in nudie magazines and on really fat ladies. They are 36 triple Ds, and the areolas are as big as saucers and as black as pitch. And at their edges are fierce little hairs that sometimes your mother plucks, and sometimes she does not. These breasts have always embarrassed you, and when you walk in public with your mother, you are always conscious of them. After her face and her hair, her chest is what she is most proud of. Your father, your mother likes to brag, could never get enough of these. But, given the fact that he ran off of her and their 3rd year of marriage, it seemed in the end that he could, yeah? You dread conversations with your mother, those one-sided dressing downs. You figure that your mother has called you into the bathroom to give you another earful about your diet. You see, your mother's convinced that if you eat more plátanos, you will suddenly acquire her same extraordinary train-wrecking secondary sex characteristics. Even at that age, you were nothing if not your mother's daughter. You were 12 years old and already as tall as she was, a long, slender-necked ibis of a girl. You had her green eyes, clearer though, and her straight hair, which makes you look more Hindu than Dominican, and a behind that the boys haven't been able to stop talking about since the 5th grade, but whose appeal you do not yet understand. You have her complexion too, which means that you are dark. But for all of your similarities, the tides of inheritance have yet to reach your chest. You have only the slightest hint of breast. From most angles, you're as flat as a board. And you're thinking that your mother's going to order you to stop wearing bras again, because in her words, they are suffocating your potential breasts, discouraging them from developing. You are ready to argue with your mother to the death because you are as possessive of your new bras as you are of the pads that you can now buy yourself. But no, your mother does not say a word about eating more plátanos. Instead, she takes your right hand and guides you. Your mother is rough in all things, but this time she is gentle. You do not think her capable of it. Do you feel that? She asks you. At first, all you feel is the heat of her and the density of that tissue like a bread that has never stopped rising. She needs your fingers into her. You're as close as the two of you have ever been, and her breathing is what you will remember. Don't you feel that? She turns towards you. Coño, muchacha del diablo, stop looking at me and feel. So, you close your eyes, and your fingers are pushing down, and of course you're thinking of Helen Keller, and how when you were a little girl you wanted to be just like Helen Keller, except a little more nunnish. And then suddenly, without a warning, you do feel something, a knot just beneath her skin, tight and secretive as a plot. And at that moment, for reasons you will never quite understand, you are overcome by the feeling, the premonition that something in your life is about to change. You become lightheaded. You can feel a throbbing in your blood. Bright lights zoom through you like photon torpedoes, like comets. You do not know why, how or why you know this thing, but that you know it cannot be doubted. It is exhilarating. For as long as you have been alive, you have had bruja ways. Even your mother will begrudge you that much. Hija de Liborio, she called you, after you pictured Diaz winning numbers for her. And you assumed Liborio was a relative. That was before you started going back to Santo Domingo, before you found out about the great power of God. I feel it, you say, too loudly. Lo siento. And like that, everything changes. Before the winter is out, the doctors remove the breast that you were needing, along with the axillary lymph node. Because of the operations, your mother will have trouble lifting her arm over her head for the rest of her life. Her hair begins to fall out, and one day she pulls all that remains out herself and puts it inside of a plastic bag. You change too. Not right away, but it happens. And it is in that bathroom where it all begins, where you begin. That's all. Thank you. Two questions when we're done. Madame.